I want to go to the ballpark, do my job, just like anyone else, go home, be with my family.
Man, that Barry Bonds sure is boring, and if the guests bring that Ward Cleaver BS on today's show, it is really going to suck. No chance of that. We'll be scrapping on Jose Theodore. How can a guy that hot be unwanted? We'll scrap on Jerome McGinley. How can a guy that rich still be fighting? We got the Heart of Punk, Joe Keithley from DOA. We got Maven from WWE. Actor Jennifer Belak and the great Valerie Pringle, so bring it on.
Off the Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight.
This week has been fantastic, and if you have been with us for 5 whole days now, you should perhaps try and get outside a little bit more, but we thank you very much. And we got to say, we hope that your time watching OTR this great week has been well spent, and we will cash in today with another great show. I know it's going to be outstanding. This guy has got an amazing story. His name is Maven, WWE superstar. He got found on the first Tough Enough competition. Former semi-pro baseball player. Nice to welcome you to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're on with a guy that I've admired for a long time. I've been a Punk fan, as many of our viewers know, for a long time. I look like a Punk fan, don't I? Joe Keithley, as influential as any guy in punk music in this country from DOA. Great to welcome you back to the show.
Yeah, nice to be back.
Nice to see Valerie Pringle on the show. She has hosted all of the key shows, Canada AM, W5, and now your Valerie Pringle has left the building. That's the name of your new show. Sit your ass down for at least a half hour before leaving the building.
I'm staying here for you.
Will you tell us more about the show later on?
Absolutely.
Excellent, and great to welcome Jennifer Belak to the show. Actor, we know you from Saved by the Bell, which gives you huge status in this building, and Hang Time as well, and lots of other great stuff. Nice to see you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
All right, let's go. And in Calgary, Jerome McGinley, you know what a great player he is. So talented. Not off to a great start, but he is a warrior. Watch your screens here. He wanted a piece of Bill Guerin last night. Bob Bugner would have stepped in, but McGinley said forget it, then proceeded to bash his precious hands on Guerin's face at least 5 times. McGinley is a franchise player. He makes $6 million a season. Can you say, if you're the Flames, Jerome, we love the fact that you will fight, but don't do it?
I say hockey's hockey. You fight.
I say, well, I hate fighting in hockey anyway, but I know that makes me completely out of touch. I think they're completely in their rights to say you can't fight. I mean, didn't he break his hand not long ago?
2 years ago,
How do
he
they have
broke
a
his
guy
hand,
who's going
yeah.
to break his hand? Control yourself. We're about being grown-ups, and we're being paid a lot of money.
You can't, why control himself? Like some guy goes and sticks him in the groin, and he's going to turn around.
If you're angry, you're angry.
Ever played hockey, and a guy high sticks you in the face,
Well,
you turn around and you beat the crap
but
out of him.
that was, I mean, he'd already lost it in that case. He
Well,
lost it last night.
that was a great tilt. And there's 2 reasons why I wanted to fight. 1, because it's hockey, and 2, if he breaks his hand, then they're out of the playoff race, and I'm not a Flames fan.
Yeah, part of the great things about professional athletics is reaction. And I mean, whether you're in baseball, football, basketball, or hockey, your immediate reaction to an incident. And in hockey, fighting is a part of hockey.
Yeah, but these people are not monkeys. They're, you hope, sentient human beings who at some point are smart enough to do a deal, to learn the skills, to play the game, and then...
Well, they got a lot of skill, and he exhibits it all the time. He's an absolutely great player. And
you've got to have him be a great player. Valerie's
Yeah.
point is that in all of this, you're talking about skills and you're talking about the culture of the game. Isn't control a factor here where you can say to a guy, hey, you know what, if he sticks you in the groin, someone else will pay him back. Take a step back and score goals. Don't hurt your hand.
It would make more sense to do that, but sometimes you can't control yourself. And also, it leads by example. Maybe the team needs
If
to
he
shake
goes
up.
down,
Well, if
the
you're saying
Flames
it makes more
franchise is
sense,
sunk.
then it makes more sense. Then they
Yeah,
should be able
okay,
to
but you
tell
can't
them
always
that.
control your emotions. But at the same time,
Almost.
the Flames.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
no,
exactly that.
You know what's up?
Hold on,
You know
Val.
what's up here? The point you're missing,
You
Valerie,
can if
is
you've
that
got a brain.
the Flames are off to a bad start. So if the #1 guy, the rest of the team's going to he makes 10 times as much money as us, but he doesn't want to do the dirty
So
work.
nobody
All of a sudden,
poked
he
Wayne
does
Gretzky?
the dirty work. What's that?
Nobody poked Wayne Gretzky.
Really? See, I
Wayne
don't seem to
Gretzky's really
understand
skinny.
if there's... How come if there's a tough guy, he gets speared by someone, say, like Wayne Gretzky or Elias or something like that, how come a tough guy can't retaliate on him? How come a tough guy has to go to another tough guy to fight him because of some goal scorer?
Because isn't that the
basically
goon
did it?
code in these goony games?
I don't think it's fair, though. I think
You're right,
if
though. You're both right.
if
It's
you-
not fair, and that is
Yeah.
exactly the goon code.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, if you put regulations on athletics, you're going to take an athlete such as this gentleman, and he might not be as
You sound
good.
like a freaking teacher. What did you do before?
I actually was a school teacher, thank you very much. And he might lose his natural just will and ambition.
Okay, Mr. Maven, sir. All right, I want to talk about something else, and that's the relationship between money and expectation. Jose Theodore was awesome last year and very much underpaid. This year he got the huge raise, and he's been terrible. He is off to a disastrous start. I'm sure he'll turn it around. But for right now, it's a disaster. Last night, 6-2 loss. He gave up 4 goals and 14 shots. My question for you guys is, if you're the Montreal Canadiens and your fan, media, is it fair to hang it on this guy and say, hey, you know what, you're making way more money, now we expect a lot more?
Well, it's the pressure. That's right there. Like, he feels that pressure probably. But I think it's the beginning of the season. Like, give him a chance. Let him, become...
Yeah, one person can't make or break a team. I mean, you got a team effort out there. This gentleman he's a franchise.
He's
a franchise player. He's a franchise player, yeah, but I mean, the whole team has to pick it up. The whole team has to recognize this man's your superstar.
But
we got to work around
if
it.
you're the bomb, and if you're not
performing,
performing, you're not performing. Like, how do you call it? I mean, yes, he'll maybe improve, maybe he'll get better. He's still going to earn the same salary.
But that's the risk you take with signing anyone. That's the risk
losing money in your bank, and people won't love what you're doing. You're still going to get that salary. But if you're paid more, there's more expectation from it.
But that's the risk with anyone that you give a contract to. Like, I don't think it matters whether you make $500,000 or $10 million. Like, I think anyone can have a bad...
said to the Ottawa Senators, he took him to salary arbitration and he won. And this year he's feeling enormous pressure because now the Sens, who are really cash poor and really didn't want to spend $3.5 million a year on him, are saying, you're making more money. We expect more from you. And right now, and then he's going, this is really hard.
He's got to do it. I mean, if you're getting that kind of dough, you have to go out and help carry the team.
Especially when you put the screws to them to get it and say, I'm worth it, I'm worth it, I'm worth it. I'm sure in the negotiations that might have come up.
That's why these guys get like agents and they get negotiate a good contract, like Jose Theodore, for example. He gets $6 million here. He deserved it. He played great last year. And lucky for the Canadians, they have another capable goalie in the system.
And it is, as Jennifer pointed out, just 10 games into the season. I think Theodore will be amazing. I think Iginla's going to be amazing. Radek Bonk, I think he's going to feel the heat all season long. All right, let's go to break, and we'll go with a question about family. Everybody loves spending time with the family, and everybody loves Take Your Kid to Work Day. Watch your screen here. But can it go too far? Last night, Darren Baker was blocking the plate better than Benji Molina. TSN.ca/OTR to vote. Hey, I love my kids too, but there's no way Corey and Casey are hosting the 4th block of this show. Let us know. Back in a moment.
Off the Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight.
With Roy, he's talented, but in life, you run into that athlete that is talent and got a heart. Roy doesn't have heart, and the public and the mainstream Roy Jones fans are starting to shy away from Roy because he's not fighting no one.
When I see you all again, and you know that I can feel it, and the lights begin to glow, then you know that I'll see you tonight. Every day's alright.
Introducing Mach 3 Turbo. Total comfort shaving down or up, and anti-friction coating on the blades, plus a strip with more lubrication. So even against the grain, there's less irritation. Mach 3 Turbo, new from Gillette.
A million uses and counting. The 210 horsepower supercharged Nissan Xterra.
On the surface, people may appear to be quite similar, but we realize everyone is truly unique. BMO Financial Group. Financial solutions for the world you live in.
Home sweet home for Canadian sports fans. TSN.ca. It's all here. News, info, video, stats, opinions, and so much more. Register now with TSN.ca for free features and fantasy games. Plus, join now and enter to win one of 4 official TSN.ca Lazy Boy chairs, fully loaded with everything from a telephone to a built-in cooler. Everything a sports fan needs. It's new, it's free, and it's sports heaven. TSN.ca, Canada's sports leader online. Wednesday night, the NBA's back on TSN. Michael Jordan and the Wizards tip off the season against Vince Carter and the Raptors. Wizards, Raptors, NBA basketball excitement. TSN Wednesday.
If you think that a professional athlete can come out of the closet and not be subjected to a locker room of alienation, just consider Sterling Sharp's words. Speaking of his former teammate, Asera Tuaolo, who just told the world that he is in fact gay, Sharp said, quote, "He would have been eaten alive and he would have been hated for it," unquote. It is a no-brainer that gay people should have the same rights as any straight person. If we believe Sharp, though, there's no way a gay athlete would not create tension in the dressing room for that reason alone. Would you blame a team that shied away from having homosexuals in their locker room?
Yes. Sorry, you go.
Go ahead. No, please.
You went.
Please, go.
Yeah, I think, grow up. You might have said, would you blame a team who had, black people might have caused tension on teams. Whoa, racial things, that's pretty heavy to take. The world goes on. You said yourself, full stop, no brainer. The world thinks this will wake up. The world has to filter down. Often sports and entertainment lead. In this case, maybe they're, regressive.
Absolutely, it would cause problems in the dressing room, though. Absolutely. Especially with athletes. They're very...
I think even in my profession of wrestling, I mean, there probably are homosexuals in it, but they don't come out. I mean, and it's probably due to the fact they would get ridiculed and
yeah.
Of course, gay people should be accepted in any walk of life, but it would be like I'd see the general manager paying lip service, standing up. Oh yeah, we wouldn't shy away, and then purposely going to the next guy in the draft order.
If
the
analogy,
like a junior player.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they would skip over for sure for the good of the team.
I think Val's point, I think a lot of us believe that of course, for the greater good of society, they should employ a homosexual in the locker room and say, you know what? Live with it, guys. But if you want a team, though, your job is to win.
He had a hard time. Well, your team's there to win, and you deal with life. But I mean, yes, for that first gay athlete out,
but Jackie Robinson
hard as hell.
Jackie Robinson wasn't hiding anything. I mean, it was plainly, obviously, he was black.
Well, no, but the person, presumably, when you're going to be hiring a gay person and it's an issue and it's known and it's out and it's an issue in the dressing room, that person is known and out too. They're going to have to be able to take
here's a dilemma for you.
Horrible amount of heat.
Heisman Trophy winner came out and said, yeah, he's not obviously going to be probably in the top 5 pick in the NFL draft. Says, I'm gay. Then the team would, what would the team do? I think they would, most teams,
you get
lip
of course it would cause
and
problems.
they would go right by him and pick a lineman or whatever.
The fact is, it should be okay. Like, it should be okay to be able to be gay and play sports and do it. Of course. But it won't be accepted. Like, I don't think it would be at all accepted.
I don't think it would be immediately either. I'm not saying I think it would be easy, and I don't think it would be without problems. All I'm saying is, like everything, eventually you get over it. You're just like, oh, this is first, we can't go there, it'd be too hard. And then you work through it. Whoever's, as I say, the test case or first 10, it'll be hard as hell on them. But you grow up and you get over it and you realize, okay, the world didn't end then, and so you drive on.
Do you expect a guy to be that test case? We know that a certain percentage of the population is gay. We've never proven that playing pro sports makes you not gay. So we can assume there are guys out there who are in the closet. Would you expect them to come out? Because if you're talking about the greater good, what's good for society, what it will take to change the impressions of people is a Jackie Robinson in the gay community to come out. So would you expect them to?
Wow.
That's a hard thing to say, expect. It would be, I would never expect of anyone and say you should. I wouldn't have said of the athlete you just mentioned, you wimp, you should have done it while you were playing, because it's so individual.
I think you're stressed out enough with sports. I think you're stressed out enough with winning and, getting paid your salary, where you need to prove yourself.
Earning your salary.
Earning your salary, exactly.
I think that's a key.
I don't think I think it'd be even too much pressure for a person to actually come out.
That's a key point. Somebody would work at that all through high school and through university
in the dressing room
to become like a pro athlete. and knowing that they could throw away
But
their
look,
5
I'm just
years of
thinking,
peak earning,
look
right?
how hard
I mean,
it
it's not
was
right, but
even for like Mark Tewksbury, Brian Orser, you know, I think people in sports.
You just
were,
dropped your voice down when you started talking about names. It's like, you know what? When you're on national TV, it doesn't matter how quietly you say them. If you're saying the names, people
no,
hear
no,
them.
no. I'm just trying to get. I was actually in my brain. You know why I was quieter? Because I wanted to get it straight, so to speak. That it was Orser, and that was such a hard thing, even in those sports. You think in skating, like, well, are we surprised?
It affects everything. Okay, well, how about not a gay guy in the locker room, but how about a woman in the locker room? Haley Wickenheiser wanted to go to Italy to play. The Italian Ice Hockey Federation, even though a team had actually decided that they would sign her, said that's not the case. Do you think that a woman would change the environment in the locker room to the point where, if you were ownership, you wouldn't go for it?
Absolutely.
It's good. Whether you want to admit it or not, she will change the locker room.
Oh.
She'd change it, but should she not be allowed to be there? If a
No,
team,
she should definitely be able to. If she's good enough and she feels that she can play with men, more power to her.
If she has the skill and the potential of being there, absolutely.
But the question, I'm asking the question from the team standpoint, and the question from the team standpoint is, we're talking about chemistry. If a gay person would throw it off, then you don't go for it. If a woman's going to throw off the chemistry, then maybe you don't go for that either.
throw it off or add to it. I guess at some point you have to weigh in on
Different
that.
kind of chemistry on that one, Val. You know what I'm saying?
it would work.
Or not, perhaps.
You know, it would work in either case. If that person, you know, it was okay, the team reacted badly, okay, oh, we've got a woman hockey player, or there's a gay guy on the team. But that thing, I think it could be overcome, but it really, that person would have to work twice as hard and be one of the best players on the team.
That's in the locker room. How about on the ice? Is the violence a factor? I mean, she plays women's hockey better than anyone ever. Yeah. But women's hockey does not allow any violence, does not allow any body checking. The Italian Ice Hockey Federation essentially...
No, I don't believe that. You gotta have the hitting in hockey.
I was going to take this to that, but we'll probably just leave it at that. But
it's not hockey without that.
All right.
I think
you just ended the discussion right there, Val. Sorry. Basically, she should stay playing superior hockey, which, of course, is women's hockey, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, back to talk about more stuff that you have to whisper about when OTR returns. Stay with us.
We were isolated. I mean, once we trained, we went back to our hotel rooms and we could not speak to one another.
Really?
And our phones were blocked to speak to one another, so we really couldn't get to know each other. I'll tell you personally, I thought a couple of the girls didn't deserve to be there.
A taste of the unexpected? Captain Morgan Original Spiced Rum.
The new Chrysler PT Cruiser. My new Chrysler PT Cruiser Turbo. The new 215 horsepower PT Cruiser Turbo from Chrysler. This is my car.
At Radio Shack, we've got lots of ways to make your evenings better. Like a Star Choice satellite system for just $0, including installation. Better picture, better sound, and hundreds of channels. And complete the experience with a Panasonic home theater system that comes with a receiver, DVD player, and surround sound speakers. Home entertainment just got better. Radio Shack. Life just got better.
Guys are counting on me.
Gotta go.
Just one night.
Just one night.
Nice pants.
Nice pants.
Nice pants.
Hi.
Nice pants. What have they been?
Presenting Dockers Go Khaki with Stain Defender. See?
this.
You know, back in the
Heist
old
in a
days of
minute.
Motown, they made guys like Smokey Robinson and Marvin Gaye go to charm school because they knew that one day they'd have a reporter in their face. Someone would ask a question, and then the judgment begins. Barry Bonds is being judged not for his on-field work right now, which is pretty much perfect, but his work on the stick at the mic for the uninitiated. For $20 million a year, is it fair to expect that he will show some energy, at least, in a post-game news conference?
Absolutely not. This man's being paid $20 million a year to do one thing, and that's hit home runs. He's not being paid $20 million
I don't agree with that
to
at all.
be a PR person.
No. You need that. That's part of your business. Like, you can't just play.
Okay.
You have another side to that.
If Barry Bonds hit...
Yeah, who pays your salary? Fans?
If Bonds hit .093, one home run, would he make $20 million a year? Absolutely not. Would the media be all over him? Absolutely not. Will we give two craps about what he does on the field? Probably not, because he'd be on the bench. He's
But there's
getting paid
two
to play
sides of being a
baseball.
professional athlete. You cannot just be a professional athlete. There's also, like, the fans, the people, the media. That's part of the business. You
Okay,
have
so
to deal with
you as an owner could have the best hitter probably ever to play baseball, and you're not going to give him that money, and you're not going to have him on
I'll
your
pay
team.
him that much money
Because
he
he can perform, right?
He's got to put on
Yeah.
a happy face.
He's not-
Pay me $20 million, I'll be the happiest person in the world.
He's not in there to do interviews. He's in there, I agree with you totally, to hit the ball out of the park, which he does
No,
great.
there's two parts
So
to this.
if it's a bonus if he's good on
You know,
camera.
there does seem to be a culture. There are some athletes who are to die for. They're divine. They're the ones like the Jordans and the Gretzkys who get then all the endorsements and the extra contact. They don't make just $20 million. They make $150 million because everyone
They
wants
call
them on a
those guys
Wheaties
sellouts,
spot.
right?
They are just the divine sort of. You look at them and go, what complete, wonderful, charming.
Yeah,
human
but this man's satisfied to just play baseball. And
Yeah.
be with his
Well,
family.
but
you know what? There's more.
Is he a
There is
disappointment?
more,
You
and you
look
have
at
to
him
do
and you
it.
go, Barry, just one flake of enthusiasm out of his mouth last night, and people would have gone mental. You know, it's
When
You
did
see
they-
how many
last year?
Whether you
last
make
year-
$20 million, hold on, sorry.
Go
Whether
ahead.
you make $20 million or not, you tell me if fans are going to like you. If you hit amazing, you have 10 home runs a game, and then you don't smile at a fan that walks by or you don't talk to media, do you really think all those fans are going to like you anymore? Not at all.
He's not. But he's made it.
He
It
doesn't.
doesn't, but it makes it more difficult for
from
your
day
career
one,
to not
from the beginning of
to
his
be
career.
hated. It's more difficult for you to be
From the
to be
beginning,
Yeah, he's
from the
been
beginning of his
unpopular,
career, he has said, "I don't like the media. I don't like being interviewed."
Can you say he's dropped the ball? Here's a guy who's done everything possible with the bat, but in the time that he has excelled with the bat, his game has dropped to the point where World Series ratings are a disaster. Can't you say that at least to some extent, Barry Bonds has missed a chance, that
He's
he has
a
fallen
disappointment.
short
Absolutely.
of what we would like to see from him? Because
no
basically,
question.
when it comes to marketing the game, he said, not interested.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. You're trying to punish this man for he's great at playing baseball.
Like I said before,
he wouldn't sit.
No one's watching.
Barry,
No one's watching.
Barry would not sit in Michael's chair here and host this show. That's not what he's good
But
at.
are you
He's good at playing
disappointed?
baseball.
What would it have been
Absolutely
better?
not. Because I get my enjoyment out of watching him play baseball, and that's it. As a true fan, as someone who's played the game before, I enjoy watching him play baseball.
So they
I don't
should
care
just,
if he can
like,
ball.
run him off.
It's a bonus.
They should run him
Yeah.
off
If he can,
the field
be
and basically
friendly
go,
too.
nobody talk to Barry because he's hopeless at this. We'll put anybody else up there.
Okay, well, if you look at actors, I mean, their career, they like Russell Crowe. Oh, I hate him. Everyone hates him because he's so rude to the media. Like, yeah, he's still going to get paid. He's still going to make his
Beautiful Mind was a
movies.
great
He's
movie, though.
Yeah, he's amazing. But I'm just saying, I think there's another part to it. And the other part is media and fans and being nice and putting on that. What's so hard? You're making $20 million. You can't smile. You can't give a nice interview for people.
What is so hard?
I don't make $20 million. I wish I did.
What is so hard
What's
about
so
that?
hard
How
about
is
it?
it
You're
so
getting
hard to
ganged
walk
up on
out?
here, I think.
Literally, they can write it out for me. And
This
have to
man
go,
is
I'm really happy with the game
plain and-
tonight.
All right,
All
wait,
the
wait a minute,
team,
answer this.
all the way
You're
to the
struggling. These
World
guys,
Series.
do you do tag team?
Answer, yes, I do.
Tag it. Tag it.
Well,
Let me take it.
hold on. Let me tag in a
Okay.
second. Answer this. When this man signed his $20 million contract, did they have any behavioral clauses in it? No,
We
it
don't
didn't
know that.
tag.
Could have
Tag?
It did.
Hold on.
Come on. You
We
know
tag
it.
it.
does.
I'm in.
Even mine
I'm in
does.
the ring. All right. Speaking of tag teams, yesterday we had two great East Coast performers. We had Corey Tedford from Crush and Alan Doyle from Great Big Sea. This is an email we got this morning. Mike, nice to see the East Coast will be represented on your show and well represented yesterday. It just proves if you're looking for a scrap, look no further than The Rock. Take that, Vancouver. Hey, take that to you.
Hey, I like Halifax, but that guy's way off
Well, actually,
course.
technically, The Rock is in Halifax, is it?
No, I don't know.
Whatever, right? It's a long way
It's a
away.
pretty small
Yeah.
rock compared
There's
to
our
the ones out
website,
west.
there's our email, there's our fax number. Back to throw more of those rocks.
at the Coors Light Brewing Company when it comes to bringing you an ice-cold, easy drinking taste. We'll be there. We'll be there when the bouncer says you, and you. We'll be there when you dip that chip not once, but twice. And we'll be there when you come face to face with destiny and her lovely colleague, Candy. Coors Light, why not take a silver bullet for the team?
The new Dodge SX 2.0. The thrill of 132 horses under your foot.
Hello. Ciao. When does the tour begin? Quando comincia il tour? I'm so glad we didn't bring the kids. Meno male che non abbiamo portato I bambini.
Nikon Coolpix. Digital photography. Nikon quality. See your authorized dealer or nikon.ca.
Goodbye. Ciao.
All right, let's find out what these guys are up to. You've been hurt, right, Maven?
Yeah, about 5 months ago, I broke my leg during a match. Broke it in 3 spots and tore a lot of ligaments in my ankle.
When do you get back?
I'm going this Wednesday to hopefully get cleared, go back into training for a couple weeks, and get back on the road.
You know what? You were a great guest on the show. It was a pleasure. And your story really is amazing. I was talking about Bernard Hopkins before, about what his story is. But you were a school teacher. You went in tough enough, and then all of a sudden, right now, you're living the dream, right?
And right now, my life hasn't been the same since.
Absolutely. And you don't want it to go back. How tough is tough enough?
It's a lot harder than what it looks like on TV. I mean, I know a lot of people think that the wrestling business is easy and anybody can do it, but it's demanding, and it's a lot more mentally tough than you would think.
Great. Well, I'm sure you're up to the task there. And Tough Enough 3 you can see on TSN on Monday nights, and it's been great for us. Joe, great having you on the show.
Yeah, thanks.
Tell me what's up with DOA.
New album out, Win the Battle, that's out. And on my label, Sudden Death, we also re-released this really old album, Hardcore 81, which kind of gave the name to that, coined that phrase in the musical genres. You know, so that's why we're just out promoting it, traveling around.
Excellent. You're a Canucks fan, right?
Of course, die hard,
absolutely.
die hard. Pre-NHL.
Pre-NHL.
Oh, yeah, and you know, it's like, yeah. Actually, I tell you right now, they're going to finish 4th in the conference, and they're going to knock out San Jose, and they're going to get to the conference final, but they'll lose to Colorado.
With Kluche in goal, or will they make a change?
No, they'll keep them.
Okay.
Yep.
Val?
I'm in Tough Enough.
Tell us about the new show. Tough Enough, you know what? You would kick everyone's ass, I guarantee it. If you could do Canada AM for all those years, you are tough.
I know.
So tell us about the new show.
Well, the one that's on CTV Travel now is a series I did mostly last year, 10-part show called Valerie Pringle Has Left the Building, which is a travel show. We sort of went all over the world. And they're quite irreverent and very fun, and they're Tuesday nights at 8 on CTV Travel and on the main network, too. I'm also doing a series for Vision TV and a series for W and Doc Channel, interviews and debate shows. And
so you're probably getting a chance to do all the stuff that you couldn't do when you were
very
doing mornings.
Fun.
Absolutely.
Very fun.
You know what? You're always one of my favorite broadcasters, and you were always one of my favorite people since you employed me when I was in university and you were working in radio, which is a true story.
And you've
Thanks for
done
doing that, man.
so well.
Let's
I'd
talk
love
more
to come
about that
on your show.
Val, good seeing you. Jennifer, what's up with you? I know that.
Well, my career's going so well that I'm going to school for interior design.
Really?
Yeah,
but you have had a ton of fun, though, in movies,
I've had
right?
so much fun,
Like you haven't had huge parts in movies, but you've been in some really neat movies, right?
Yeah,
you were in the first Austin Powers, right?
Yes,
You
I had
were-
one line.
Right, and you were in Romeo and Michelle's Wedding and all kinds of things. So
mine was
you've done a
cut.
lot of neat things. See, you don't have to say that. No one says you got to be
Mine was
honest on the
cut,
show.
going for it.
I lie every day on the show. Why don't you lie?
But you got to tell why you're living in Toronto, too.
Yeah, that's true. I live in Toronto now, and so...
because you're married to...
Because I'm married.
To?
To no one.
Yes, to someone.
To no one.
Okay, well, you know what?
Okay.
If the folks can't put it together, then they're not what we think they are. See you next time.
Off the Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight. Michael Landsberg's wardrobe supplied by Grafton & Company. Get it at Grafton.
The CFL is in double coverage Sunday on TSN. TSN, Canada's sports leader.
As the senior tour has crisscrossed the land, 22 different champions, 6 multiple winners, 9 playoffs, and 18 made $1 million or more. Oklahoma's home this week as Gaillardia hosts an elite field. All in all, it adds up to a record-breaking season. But again this year, as in 97 and 98, the sun has shone the brightest on one man, a rejuvenated Hale Irwin. He clinched the Charles Schwab Cup and the money title at Turtle Bay with his 4th win of the year. 4 victories and 6 runner-ups, en route to a $3 million season, the first ever for a senior. Bob Gilder, last year's Rookie of the Year, will definitely garner votes for Player of the Year with 4 wins in 2002. Tom Watson's been in the hunt all year with 5 runner-ups, including the U.S. Senior Open. And Tom Kite won his 3rd just 2 weeks ago. They've all come to the prestigious season-ending Senior Tour Championship. Sports, in association with CNBC and the Senior PGA Tour, proudly presents the Charles Schwab Cup. Today's live coverage of the 2002 Senior Tour Championship at Gaillardia from the Gaillardia Golf and Country Club in Oklahoma City. The newest frontier, Oklahoma City, bursting at the seams with excitement. We're live at the Gaillardia Golf and Country Club. 2nd straight year it's been the home venue of this elite season-ending showcase. The top 31 qualified. Actually began in the state of Oklahoma with the great land run of 1889. The Oklahoma Territory became a settlement and eventually a state. Well, there's a great land run now, and the land's a lot drier than it was 24 hours ago when play was officially suspended, round 1 canceled. Wind chill yesterday reached 32 degrees, so play picked up exactly where they were. For Hale Irwin and Bob Gilder, it means a long day. We'll tell you about that. But earlier today, finishing up their first round after play picked up at 9 o'clock local time, Hale Irwin. Birdie putt at the 14th to get it to 3 under. He would bogey 15, bogey 16, but come back with a birdie at 17. Then Tom Kite, Mark Rolfing, birdie try at 15.
And I don't think he thought this putt was going to go in. It just barely creeps into the right-hand corner.
That would get Tom Kite to 2 under par. And Bob Gilder, 2nd on the money list. 2nd to Irwin with those 4 victories. 2nd shot at 17.
Much like Tom Watson, Bob Gilder has always been a good bad weather player. Of course, grew up in the Pacific Northwest where it rains a lot.
That tap in got Gilder to 2 under. Now starting round 2, Ed Doherty at the very first hole. After a 70 in round 1, Doherty moves quickly to -3. And how about the former appliance salesman from Bermuda Run in North Carolina? Walter Hall, birdie try at the 2nd. And Hall gets it to 4 under to temporarily take the lead. Notice the ski caps? It's the order of the day. Look at the ball. That's Gary McCord with mud on the ball.
Well, you're going to see a lot of that today. McCord hasn't made a putt of this length in a month, it seems like. The ball bobbles, and it goes. Only Gary McCord.
Looked like a bocce ball, didn't it? McCord to -1. And just a second ago, Ed Doherty, his birdie putt at the 3rd hole to tie Walter Hall at -4. Everybody wearing turtlenecks, trying to stay warm, hand gloves, blankets in the carts. Hall's at 4 under along with Doherty. Roger